So I get asked a little bit, how do you actually like keyframe, and how do you like effects, and how do you edit in general, like do the graphs or whatever. So I'll make just a short, very short tutorial how to do this stuff. So you start by doing your composition, right? You set your resolution, set your frame rate, then set your time. I mostly do like 30 seconds. If I'm making logos, 5 seconds, 3 seconds. It's up to you really. Let's start by a simple 5-second keyframe. Composition, sorry. So you see this is the composition, right? You import your clips or your PNGs, like pictures, your videos, anything really. You can import whatever you want into this. So I'm gonna start off by like getting a clip that I have. Let's do this. So this is the clip. We're gonna try to fit it. Fit. And now you see, you can view the clip, you can play it. It's a bit choppy sometimes. This is due to the GPU rendering. So how to fix that is to actually go to Edit, Preferences, go to Import. You'd go here and disable hardware accelerated decoding, and it'll prompt you to restart After Effects. It'll do it on its own. I don't want to save the project. Just want to show you that it actually does work though. Give it a moment. It does this thing at the start. It basically just loads your plugins that you installed and your presets. I have a shit ton of plugins and presets, so it takes a while to load. But give it a moment. Just give it some time. And done. It's loaded up. Again, I'm gonna make a new project. So again, new composition. Same thing you did before. Choose the duration, choose the aspect ratio and the resolution, and choose the frame rate. You can choose from a bunch of other frame rates, but you know, 60 is decent. Some edits do require you to use like lower frame rates because they just look more aesthetically pleasing, but it depends on the content and the edit that you're doing at the end of the day. But yeah, we're just gonna put this in, import the clip once more, copy it in. You see it doesn't really glitch as it did before. You see this green line? If it's not filled all the way, it's not fully rendered, right? So the choppiness fades away as soon as it's fully rendered. Now you can play back the clip normally, right? It's not really a huge clip, but you know, if I keep pulling it back, you can see there's more room in the clip. So choosing the composition size actually matters. So this clip was like 15 seconds. So if I do, let's say 16 seconds or so, right? Then pull this back. Editor's note, you can also hold shift while dragging across the timeline to like match certain elements across the timeline of the other ones. So basically, let's say we had multiple layers, you want to align this with that, you would hold shift and then drag it across the composition timeline. Thank you. Back to the start. You can see it's at the start, it's at the finish line as well. So then if this renders, right, you can get the playback. It works normally, and it's really fine. There are some parts where it'll stutter, because this hasn't really fully loaded in yet. Look. Now it'll slow down, just trying to render it fully. Again, this really does depend on your CPU though, so just keep mind of that. But yeah, the clip loaded. You can start adding effects into it. So most people, let's say you want to do like a graph edit into it, right? You can go into the effects and presets panel, right? Allow it a second, it's loading. And then there are a bunch of plugins or effects, as you can say, right? So if we want to, let's say, do Twixter, which is like how you do velocity, you would put it onto it, right? And then you can start Twixtering, right? All of these doesn't really matter. I would keep this on. Basically keeps the same frame rate of the clip. You can slow down the clip or not if you want to, so it's really up to you. Give it a sec. Again, it's gonna have to render that. So I would recommend actually putting the render resolution to half. Makes it a bit smoother to render fully, without the usual choppiness, and a bit faster. You can set it to like a third if you want to. It'll be even faster. But then again, you would see it's a bit grainy. So half is good enough. Half is good enough for now. Again, we want to do like Twixtor or like keyframing and stuff. Basically, you see this little clock icon? Whenever you try to adjust a certain effect or a certain thingy in an effect, like a certain line in an effect, you would start by clicking the clock icon. Let's say I want to put the smoothness of it, right? Like the speed of it to like 100 here, but make sure to set it to motion weight blend. If it's a faster clip, I would set it to forward. If it's a slow clip, I would set it to inverse, so I would set it to forward here. Now we want the speed to be 100 here, and we want it to slow down a bit, right? So then we would keyframe it to like 101. It would create a keyframe here, but now let's set it back to 100. So if you scroll down, you'll see this little icon. This is how you keyframe, right? And then what we can do is go further. Let's say I want to slow it down here. You can just set it to 50. Then we have another keyframe. And then let's say I want to go back to 100. Set it back to 100 like so. See, now we have 3 keyframes, right? So what we can do is mark these like so. You'd select the layer, press U on the keyboard, and it would show the keyframes. And then you can highlight them. You would press F9 or right click on them, keyframe assistant, easy ease, or just do the simple shortcut F9. So I'm just do F9, easy ease. Basically, it makes the clips a bit smoother, and then you can start playing around with the graph editor. There are 2 graphs, the value and the speed graphs. It's up to personal preference, really. I like the value graph more, so I'm gonna stick to the value graph. So let's say I want it to be like faster at the start, but a bit slower towards the end. So I would pull this back, right? Pull this a little bit back. So you see how it's like wider curve? It means it's gonna be a bit slower. And this is gonna be a bit sharper, so we want it to go up, like so. Maybe not that much. Hold on. Hold this by mistake. Maybe not that much. Wait. We just want it to be a bit slow, a bit fast at the start and a bit slower towards the end. If you want to reverse that, you would do the opposite. You would pull this out, and then you would stretch this down a little bit. You know, same thing here. Let's say I wanted reversed. So what I would do is I would stretch this out. Hold on. Stretch this out. Wait, no. Oh, stretch this, and then so you would see kind of an unflattering clip, but yeah, that's how you edit like the graph editor and stuff. It's very simple, honestly. That's how you do like keyframes and stuff. Want to remove the keyframes, you would click this again, and it would just remove all of them. Or you can just simply highlight them and press delete, and they're gone. Now let's say you want to add like effects. You would type Ctrl-Alt-Y, and you would make an adjustment layer, and then you can add like CC, effects, all that good stuff onto it, right? So let's say I want to add like deep glow. I would go to deep glow, and then you'd see like it's a bit much, so we can lower that a bit, and lower the exposure a bit. There, now you have some glow, but that doesn't look good, huh? So what we can do is use another plugin, also available. It's called Magic Bullet Looks, and that's how you can go and add CC. You would go in, choose Edit. Would open up this panel. There you go. Then you can start choosing how you want your clips to look. I personally like the classic Blockbuster. It adds this cool like glow, but it's not really doing too much. It just highlights certain parts of the video, not all of it, you know. And then you can choose like from a bunch of filters. Honestly, like some of them really doesn't look that good. They really don't look that good, but some of them look good enough to use. And you can start combining them, you know. Like you can add multiple layers and with multiple CC. It's really up to you. I don't want to do that for now, so I'll just delete the adjustment layer. Now, let's say you're not really into editing. You just wanted to do like beat markings as well. That is also easy. So let's start by getting like an audio clip. Let's import like an edit audio that I have. So this is a song, right? You would start by doing something called an amplitude layer. You would press L, right? And then you would see the waveform, and this is pretty much it, right? This is the normal waveform, but it's not really intuitive on how you can mark it. So what I would like to do is do keyframe assistance, convert audio into keyframes, and then you would have this. It's called an amplitude layer. You would press U on it, right? Let's set that to the bottom. You can shift around the layers by Control A, hiding the effects. You don't have to do that, but it's just a bit neater. And then you would drag this down, right? Then you can see it right here. Now if I press L on it, sorry, U, it would show these keyframes, because we use the keyframe assistant to turn the audio into a bunch of keyframes. Now what we can do is, because if you see, if we zoom in, you would hold Alt and scroll wheel, it would show you that there are a bunch of keyframes for the beat. You don't actually have to click these, all of these. You just gotta click these, and then you can see them clearly. How you can mark is by pressing this button. That's how you mark your beats. Pretty much. You can just mark beat here. Let's say that's a drop. Let's mark the beat here. Let's say that is a drop. Mark the beat here. Let's say that's a drop. This is just an example. So let's mark the beat here. And let's say like it's going like this, yeah. You know the vibes. So again, to check the beat markings, you literally click the both channels. Click both of them. You can hold Shift, or you don't. It's not really important. Just hold these, right? Go here. You can see the graph. You can zoom in by holding Alt and scrolling up. You can see the spikes. The higher the spike means the louder the beat is. So that would like tell us that is a beat marking that we must do. Then you can just, yeah, like let's go here, for example, and that's a marker. You can edit these markers. Like let's say you wanna settings. Yeah, that's it. Settings. You can name the marker. Let's say I wanna name it like beat beginning. So it is. And then you can like shift these around. You can go to settings again. Let's name that 3, for example. Yeah, you can see it's changed to the name to the number 3, and yeah, so on and so forth. That's like a really quick tutorial on the basics of it. There are really cool stuff that you can do if you want. Like, let's say you want to make a logo in here or something, right? You would right click, new, and instead of an adjustment layer which has the shortcut Control Alt Y, you would press shape layer, right? Let's say go to your pen tool. Let's say I make hold on. Say I make this weird ass cube. Not really symmetrical or whatever, right? You get what I mean, right? You can remove the fill. Hold on. Go here, contents, shape. You can remove the fill if you want, or you can Control Z and turn it back. You can make it a stroke. So let's say I want to increase the width of the stroke. It has stroke width. Also, AE is really all about keyframes. So let's say at the start I want to keyframe it so that it's 0, but then afterwards here it becomes like 29, right? You see what will happen is it'll animate it. That's how you keyframe it, right? And then it has the same concept. You can easy ease those. You can go into the graph editor and edit them. The sky is the limit, really. That's basically how you do it. It's not really difficult. It just needs time and patience. I want to make it 3D. You can make it 3D. And if we go like this, you can also start like dabbling with the camera. I never tried it, so I'm not really going to talk much on the camera yet, till I'm actually aware of what I'm supposed to be doing with the camera. So yeah, that's pretty much all you can do for now. You can add effects as well to the shapes. My favorite one is trim paths. Basically, it animates certain lines in it. So let's say we keyframe it at the end to be like 0, and then towards here it becomes like 100, and that's how you animate it. Look, it'll start thin and then become wide. That's how you animate it. Yeah, that's all I have for now. Thanks so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed that tutorial. See ya.